Hey guys, what's up? It's a VG Prodigy here. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to build a circular tower. This tower is super good for defense. It looks pretty nice. This tower has so many pros to it. When you're on top of it, scoping out the area, for some odd reason, I'm not sure why, but the players who are on the ground level cannot see you. You're out of render range for them, so you're invisible to them. They cannot see you unless they pull out a spyglass or a scope on a gun to even see you. But for some odd reason, you're able to see them. So that's already a huge advantage. You can survey an entire area. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it as tall as you want. And it just looks super great. So let's get right into it. Alright, so first off, here are the materials you will need. This build uses a lot of walls. I know I went a little overboard on the stone, but for the most part, this is everything you're gonna use. I like to throw turrets and generators and catwalks on it, so I did forget those, so I will get those so you guys can see how that looks. But for the foundation, which is what we're gonna start with, we're gonna need some of these. We're gonna need some ceilings. We're gonna need the stone fence foundations. These play a key role in creating in making the tower circular. And lastly, we'll need some walls. Just some, not too many. Alright, so let's get started. First thing, one of the greatest things that I like about this build is that you can build on uneven terrain and it'll still come out flat because of the pillars. So we're going to make the entrance right here to where it's facing out onto this river, facing Red Orb right there. So we're going to place our first pillar right here. Right there should be nice. I'm going to throw, so once you have the pillar down, your next step is to throw a ceiling right on top of it, and then a ceiling right next to it. For this build, I'm just going to make it 2 ceilings wide on every single side. You can make it bigger than that. I don't think you can make it smaller. I've tried, because this next step involves you putting fence foundations and then putting a wall, and you can't do that with the pillar in the way. So it has to be at least 2. And so with putting the fence foundation on, you're going to put it on this side of the build. And as you can see, there's 2 snap points. I'm trying to find the second one. It's not popping up. There it is, that one right there. You do not want that one. You want the one that's closest to the edge. So after you achieve that, you're going to get another foundation and put it... Come on, I know you can do it. There we go. Exactly like that. So now that we have attained that, don't worry about how any of this looks, what any of the walls are facing, because we're going to demolish them very soon. So if you're playing this on like survival, if this isn't like a single player or where the materials are easy to get, I recommend using like wood fence foundations, and like thatch walls. So to keep you from wasting materials. So after you put the wall up there on that slanted one you just placed, you're going to place one directly underneath it. You're going to get one more ceiling, and it creates a new snap point right here. And that's what starts making it circular. So before you can start demolishing everything, you're going to need to get a pillar, and there's a snap point right there in the direct center of it. Now you're going to have this sticking out. There's a way to prevent that, but it doesn't bother me too much, so I just kind of ignore it. So now that we have the pillars supporting our new area, we can demolish all of this stuff. And now the next thing to do is just repeat the process just as I've shown y'all. And you just keep doing that until it completely circles around. So I'll see you guys when that is done. And there you have it, guys. There is the ring around it. Now we got to get the flooring in. First off, let's get the door in, just so for those of you that are playing on survival, so you can get up and down a little easier. We do not need these pillars anymore. One thing that I do use, actually, before I forget, I don't do it all the time. I haven't done it in my past couple of ones, but you can put some foundations down here and put some walls under it to protect your pillars a bit. But I don't really do that because it doesn't look too nice, but you can definitely do that if you're looking for... I like my builds to look nice, but also have defensive value. Alright, so I'll just throw the door right here. And we're gonna need some ramps. I forgot I set aside some ramps for this. There you go, there's your little entrance. I would just throw a little ramp with the door. So let's get the floor done on the inner side. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get, there's gonna be a lot of snap points, so be ready for that. We'll start right here, no, right there. So you wanna place those two right there and do the same thing on this side. Because you can just kind of place them however you want in the end, but it this way saves you the most materials. Same thing right across, and then the same thing right here. So now we're just gonna have just a little bit of a square here, and you can fill that up with just, as you can see, it doesn't have foundation support, but you're able to place it right on top of another ceiling. So there you go. Now you have your flat little circular tower on unflat land. It looks super neat like that. It looks really, really, really nice. You can also, you know what? Let me try this. This probably might not work out too great. Instead of putting foundations, you could, depending on how high it is, put some sort of defense by doing that. But right here, it doesn't even, yeah, see right there, you kind of don't have anything. You probably could put some foundations with the fence on top of it or something. That would work for sure. But because you can crawl under this, and there you go, someone can blow in straight in from underneath to throw C4 under all the pillars, and then there goes your entire base. So that is a weak spot of the base. There we go, that adds a bit more protection. Like I said, you could throw turrets under there, you can throw fence foundation with another wall, but that works. That definitely works too. So now that we have the entire floor, we're gonna have to focus on building it up now. So this requires a lot of walls, a lot of ramps, and a lot of patience. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can't believe I forgot. You don't use ramps for this because ramps do not work. You're gonna need sloped wooden roofs for this, so I'm gonna get those real quick. Alright, now we got our sloped roofs and we have our walls. Let's see. We gotta start by building up some walls around here. Oops. And see, what I like to do is when I put my generator in, I do not like to put it on the very bottom, nor do I like to put it on the very top in case those get hit. I put it somewhere around the middle, just because it's more of an awkward spot and hard to predict, but you're free to put it wherever. I'm just showing you how exactly I do it. Okay, so you have your first set of walls. What you're going to do is you're going to get a roof. There it is. Right there. And you have your little walkway. Oh, we need ceilings too. One good thing to note is as many sloped wooden roofs you use, you'll need the same exact ceilings, provided you don't waste any resources. So there we go, we got our first basically step up, and we're gonna do the same thing right here. It's always a sloped roof and then a ceiling right there. And it's just gonna keep trailing all the way up to the top of the tower. So I'm just gonna build that real quick and I'll see you guys then. Alright you guys, I think I'm gonna end the height right there. I usually build it up a lot taller than this, but this is just a tutorial just so you guys can just basically get the idea of it. But I'm gonna show you real quick how I put a generator in. And you can just kind of place it anywhere. Like I said, I personally do it in the middle. You can have it right there on ground level. You can have it up on the very top. But I think about right here is a little happy spot. Now I just kind of go all the way across. There we go. That looks good. Now we'll put it right here. And the reason why I have it connecting all the way to the opposite side, so we don't have to worry about it saying, you know, we need foundation support and this and that, And I placed the stone frame backwards, unfortunately. And you're gonna get it look weird back there, that's fine, but that's just because we had to connect it so we had foundation support. And there you go, you can put your little generator in here and you can get to it. Then the best thing, you can have wires coming out from the top, feeding up to turrets up there that you could have, and down there. I do recommend, though, saying it right now, I do recommend putting turrets up on the very top, because if someone tries to shoot a rocket at you, the turrets will take care of that. So you'll basically be like untouchable. You can have a bed in here maybe, so if you do get shot, you can just run all the way back up and grab your stuff. Oh, so basically what we did at the very beginning, we just got to line it up with the ceilings. And you're going to need to leave this open because you're going to need a little area to walk through. Okay, so we have the ring around. Now we are going to have to do the same thing we did with the ceiling on the bottom, except it's going to be a little bit more awkward because we have that little section missing. We're still able to do it though. So we're going to go here, here. Come on, there it is again. And like I said, you can just kind of start placing things however you want. It doesn't really matter all too much, but I'm just showing you this way so that you can save yourself some materials in the future. Because I know this is a very, very costly build. And now you have your platform, so you're able to see all around you. It gives you a very, very good height advantage. And not only that, I also like to add balconies right here. These are where I do all of my sniping out of. Okay, there we go. We have our balconies on every single side. Now, first thing is we have to get the pillars down. So we're gonna place that. We can place it right there. I'm gonna redo the fence foundations that I just put down because that one, I forget about that open side with the ramps that we entered through the roof through, and that threw me off a bit. So we're going to put them instead of on this side, it's not even showing me there. Instead of there, we're gonna put it there. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now that we have those up, we can start putting the pillars up because it allows us to place the pillars on the corners. And if you follow the directions correctly, you'll see that each pillar is not facing the same direction. They're all facing like, when we start placing the ceilings down to make the roof above us, it'll allow us to cover everything just perfectly. And the reasons why you need to put the pillars first before we're going to put the railings is because if you put the railings first, then it does not allow you to place the pillars. It says that the railings are blocking their way. So let's start adding the railings. Alright, now that we have all the railings done, it is looking super nice, prevents us from falling off. It looks really good, like, just, I've always, for some odd reason, for some odd reason I really like the stone railings. It looks super, super, super nice. So now on for the ceilings. We're just going to need to place one ceiling right now on each pillar. As you can see, each ceiling is facing a different direction. So we are going to extend it out just like we did in the very beginning. We're going to extend it out 3 times, or well, 2 more times, to continue with the circular pattern that we've been going with. So there, we have that now. Since it is now 3 ceilings instead of 2 ceilings, it's going to be a little bit more tricky when filling up the ceiling. Filling up the ceiling, but we'll get through that real easy. Oop, can't do that. So if I remember this correctly, it's basically the same thing we did earlier. 3 on each side. Alright, you guys, that looks like it's correct. I think we're gonna follow. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, you have one normal foundation and then 2 awkward ones on the side, and that connects with these also. So we're gonna go with that. Yes, yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Okay, I'm seeing how it's all piecing together. This is the part that I always have trouble with because it's something a little different than the system that we go with. I don't know what I did, but I did something weird. I think I just didn't do it on this side. That might be what it is. I don't know. But Like I said, it's weird. And then when I just kind of start getting to this part, I'm like, okay, whatever, let's just fill it in. Wow, it is super bright outside. But as you can see, we got our ceiling now. It looks super good. We're protected. We even have the little housing effect, as you can see on the middle right of the screen. So we get insulation there also. So to add some more defense, we're gonna need to get some walls. That's what I like to do. I like to get some walls. I'll show you how I use them. But I place them in such a way that when you're sniping, all you can do is walk backwards and it protects you. The only way someone will be able to snipe you is if they're literally on the same height level as you. So if they get a Quetzal or something like that. So that's one thing you will have to watch out for. But other than that, you'll be pretty secure in there. And you got the turrets watching you from rockets and stuff like that. And I'm going to be showing you guys how I place my turrets, just so you guys can have an idea of what you would like to do. Okay, so now that you have your ceilings, we are going to, let's see, every single time that I build this, it's something different. Now what I used to be able to do is, okay, the sun's in my face, so I can't do that, is this. But lately, like I said, every single build is different. Wow, that is so weird. Okay, so it's letting me do that. I like it better this way. I wasn't able to do it on the last one that I built. I had to come outwards. Well, I can't even, something like that. Yeah, exactly like that. That's what I had to do because it wasn't letting me put this here because they were touching each other and it said no, like the object is being blocked. But look, oh sweet. Like I said, every build is different. If you guys don't get it, I seriously don't know. It might be that, I mean, the only difference between the two builds that I was able to do it and wasn't able to do it was the material. Because I built my first one that I did this on, I did it out of stone. And the one that it wasn't letting me do it on, I made it out of metal. So I don't think the material has anything to do with it, but that's the only difference. And there you go, now you have the little extra area right there, so if someone's above you, they're not able to hit you. Below you, say you're sniping, and all you gotta do is just walk backwards and they can't see you down there. Up there they can't see you. Like I said, they literally have to be on the same height level, like maybe these people right here in the mountains. But this is just because of where I built, and this is a single player, so it doesn't matter all too much. But yeah, there's that. Let's see how it looks. Oops, not what I meant to do. It looks very, very, very neat, and it's not done yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to just kind of go off camera, throw in the generator, throw some gasoline in there, throw up some turrets just so you can see how I would defend it, and so you guys can see how it looks and you guys can see what you think. So I will show you guys my finished product. And there you have it, guys. That is the circular tower. Like I was talking about earlier, that you have the sniping balconies and right underneath you have the turrets watching your back. It might also be a good idea to throw a couple up here maybe just to be safe. It never hurts to be to have too many turrets, but this is just a simple design that I have. It really keeps you safe, like I said. So here's how it looks from the bottom. It looks super nice. Looks really, really, really cool. Now let's head on in. Like I was saying, where I would put the generator, it's right up there. As you can see, the cable system. There's your generator, you can access it and everything. And these are feeding every single turret. And up here, like I said, I make them a lot taller. But this is, you can see a lot. You can see pretty far, a lot farther than you could on ground level, to tell you the truth. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down there. Subscribe helps me out a lot. This is the VG Prodigy, and I'll see you guys next time.